Hello, I'm Aubrey Shepherd, and this is Vicki Mayes, and we're both interested in wildflower photography. So let's see some of the photos. And this is your photo. These are your photos, Vicki.
That's a dwarf crested iris, and that's an early spring woodland plant. This is one of my favorites, cream wild indigo.
Did you find that one in the woods, or?
That one's more of a meadow plant. The seed pods of that are used by Native American boys when they're imitating ceremonial dances.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a passion flower, also called a maypop. It has an edible fruit. That's a variegated milkweed. That's a rocky woodland plant. It's a little unusual for a milkweed. It has a white bloom with a purple center.
Its habitat's probably similar to the four-leaf.
The flower is quite different from the. There's
flower
one of my favorites, a bloodroot. That's an early spring plant as well, and this is grown commercially now and used in toothpaste. That's one of our most beautiful wildflowers, the columbine. This is a very rare flower. It's called a western wallflower, and this one was in a meadow. That's a prairie wild hyacinth.
Beautiful.
That's a yellow trout lily. It's also called a dogtooth violet. They're pretty common, but one of my favorites.
Gosh, we might have time to see those again and talk just a little more, since they're relatively small images. I've seen your photos blown up to a point where they're fantastic, though.
Thank you.
Tell me something about how you, what's that one we didn't do?
This is the wild geranium.
Okay.
And that's the crested iris.
And how did you get into wildlife and wildflower photography?
I think I've just always been interested in the natural world. My dad raised me that way, and I think the photography just sort of came as a
And what's that one?
a natural extension of that. That's Barbara's buttons. That's a very rare plant, seen only in a couple places across Arkansas. That one was at Nine Stone Land Trust.
Oh, wow. Well, that milkweed interested me particularly this week when you posted it on the website, because it.
Don't you love the geometry of that?
Really, yes. You commented on that. I know somebody else commented on it.
Almost looks like a buckyball.
Well,
bloodroot again. I think that's just a beautiful flower.
The designs in nature are just amazing.
They are. They're just gorgeous.
Well, did you get any training, formal training, or what was your
in
profession?
photography? No, not at all. It's just a hobby and always will be. Hopefully, it's a lifelong learning process, and hopefully, I'll keep on learning and getting a little better at it.
Are you trained as a nurse, or?
No. I was a certified nursing assistant for many years. Right now, I do home health.
Oh, that's an important thing. Well, we'll do another short take.
Okay.
For now, this is Aubrey Shepherd asking you to do your part to help keep the water clean, the air pure, and promote native plants in your garden. Hello, I'm Aubrey Shepherd, and Vicki Mayes here with me today. Vicki Mayes, and we'll look at some of my photos now and comment on those, I hope. Well, there's a little tiny grasshopper type critter, and he was on a prickly pear. And this little critter it's in your garden, everybody's garden. It's native, and it's such a close-up.
Is that nine bark, maybe? I'm not sure.
No, it's a little, well, don't worry. That's the home of Donna and Kelly Mulholland, and that's a
four-leaf milkweed.
That's a common
milkweed.
Asclepias syriaca in their garden, and I think I have an insect on another shot of that. That's Kelly out there with his giant wishing ball, which used to be a container for some kind of dangerous flammable liquid, and it decorates the front. This is Leatris from the new rain garden at the church out on Weddington, and they started using natural plants. This one is at World Peace Woodland Prairie. Would you say, Vicki, what's that?
I don't know.
Well, it's something in the mint family.
Oh, is that Ohio horse mint? Yeah, maybe.
It may be Ohio. I'm not
sure
certain about that, but that's the category it's in. So it's a Monarda family, isn't it? And that's what it just popped up just in time for this weekend at World Peace Woodland Prairie. National Cemetery, see the buildings over in the background? That was the most commented thing by visitors to the National Cemetery on Memorial Day. The big apartments have been put in there. Well, there you can see one of the buglers and the bagpiper that performed in this military ceremony on Monday. It's just a group of people. You can see the buildings behind them going up on land that used to be sale barn and could have been part of the National Cemetery if we'd been able to raise the money quickly. These are two World War II veterans. Man on the left lives in the neighborhood just down the street from the National Cemetery. He's an old sergeant, and the man at right was a captain, and they told something interesting. What do you think that is?
That is a wild petunia.
And
I'm not sure if it's the hairy or the smooth, but it is a wild petunia.
It's the white variety that's a little unusual in my experience.
Yes, it is.
That milkweed has a lot of tiny milkweed bugs, and they eat the seed pod. So if you saw the next thing that happened, it was me taking most of those in one hand and squashing them. There's some kind of soldier beetle on, what's that flower?
That's one of the daisy-like yellow flowers, of which there are about 50.
I've got the name before, and there's that same critter. I held him up there trying to get his face close. It seems a little overdone in this view, but on computer screen.
Oh, that's a wonderful shot. That's great.
That big old grasshopper was on. Well, again, is he on that chicory plant that's in the background? You see the flowers?
I think it is.
That's where he is. That's a deer's snout with a fritillary on there. You hear about butterflies that use manure and dead carcasses? Well, there were 4 different species of butterflies using that carcass. Couldn't help put it in there with as little gore as possible. That's a skipper on Asclepias purpurascens, the purple milkweed. And here's the common, what I call the common milkweed, the one everybody, butterfly weed,
yeah.
And the color didn't show up too well there because I darkened it when I adjusted it. It was a mistake, but that was an actual black swallowtail.
Right.
Okay,
lovely.
Well, I guess we're about to run out of time. I want you to come back and we'll show your pictures larger next time.
We'll do that.
And we just don't have enough people doing short takes. You could actually be doing your own separate one, maybe even 2 on a given day, and I could be doing that right now. I see Dr. Dick Bennett's about to take over the studio and do something probably on books about peace. And so we get a variety of things here, but there go through periods of the year when not many people use this opportunity, and it's free, provided by the Fayetteville City government through the Your Media Group. Till next time, this is Aubrey Shepherd. Do your part to keep the water clean, the air pure, and the woods green. See you.